What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very interesting news as four-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is the unified super middleweight world champion, heading into a massive undisputed showdown with undefeated IBF super middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant, who is 21 wins, no losses, no draws, 12 wins by way of knockout. Caleb Plant is 29 years of age, stands at 6'1" with a 74-inch arm reach. This fight is scheduled to take place this upcoming Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada at the T-Mobile Arena. With that said, Canelo Alvarez, 56 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 38 big wins by way of knockout. Canelo Alvarez, 31 years of age, stands at 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, okay? Canelo Alvarez was recently asked in an interview about the highly anticipated Trilogy heavyweight showdown that just took place October 9th, about a month ago, going on a month, okay? A little under a month since that fight has taken place. And Canelo Alvarez, he goes into detail as to why he think Deontay Wilder, who was the Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American heavyweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is now 42 wins, 1 loss, two losses, 1 draw, 41 big wins by way of knockout. Deontay Wilder is 36 years of age, stands 6'7" with a 83-inch arm reach. He took on undefeated 2-time British heavyweight world champion, superstar boxer Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, who is now 31 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. Tyson Fury is 33 years of age, stands 6'9" with a 85-inch arm reach. With that said, that was one of the most entertaining heavyweight title trilogy showdowns in the history of the sport of boxing, which saw Tyson Fury drop Deontay Wilder twice in the 3rd round, saw Deontay Wilder drop Tyson Fury twice in the 4th round, and ultimately Tyson Fury knocking out Deontay Wilder in the 11th round. With that said, Canelo Alvarez, who's a student of the sport of boxing, a historian in the sport of boxing, and one that's going to go down as one of the greatest Mexican fighters and one of the best boxers in the history of sport of boxing himself, Canelo Alvarez, he gives detail as to why he feels Deontay Wilder came up short. Not just because Tyson Fury is the better boxer. He stated that it came down to head movement and conditioning. And because he didn't have the conditioning, he didn't have the head movement. He says it's very difficult when you're fatigued to continue to move your head and get your head off the line. He said, yes, Tyson Fury is definitely a great boxer. He's definitely a very, very good boxer. Not taking anything away from him. But Deontay Wilder, if he just adds in a little bit more head movement and maximize on his conditioning, he won't get hit so much, and it could be a completely different fight. Now, with that said, Deontay Wilder, he was working on with his new trainer, former heavyweight American star boxer, title contender Malik King Scott. They were working on head movement. They were working on movement. They were working on holding the phone, getting your head off the line, okay? What took place is Deontay Wilder, he stated that in the 3rd round, he got caught behind the ear and he never recovered, okay? His equilibrium was off and he never recovered. He started to fatigue and he couldn't get his head off the line. He started getting hit with the jab cleanly and the right hand cleanly, okay? So he stated that he just simply never recovered from that 3rd round, first knockdown behind the ear, okay? And so with that said, Canelo Alvarez is saying that once he incorporates leveling up on his conditioning, then he'll be able to move his head. But Canelo Alvarez, he doesn't see any other heavyweights beating Deontay Wilder as well. That's the run. Nobody believes that, Deontay Wilder can be defeated by any other heavyweight. They believe the 2 best heavyweights for October 9th. The best heavyweight won and the 2nd best heavyweight lost, but he'll beat the rest of the landscape in the sport of boxing. Now, Deontay Wilder is currently looking to put himself back in position to be a title contender, as the WBA, World Boxing Association, has now moved Deontay Wilder to number 5 in their ranking system. And the WBA regular champion, Trevor Bryan, who's undefeated, he's open to giving Deontay Wilder a fight and an opportunity. That will obviously be the biggest fight in Trevor Bryan's career, okay? Trevor Bryan, just recently, he defeated Deontay Wilder's rival, whom Deontay Wilder won his WBC title from in Bermane Stiverne. Okay, so he beat Bermane Stiverne twice. His first opportunity for a world title was against Bermane Stiverne, and his second fight with Bermane Stiverne, he knocked Bermane Stiverne out in dramatic fashion, made him a meme. So Trevor Bryan, 21 wins, no losses, no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, stands 6'4" with a 79-inch arm reach. He defeated Bermane Stiverne January of this year for the vacant WBA title. Okay, so obviously Trevor Bryan hasn't been in a mega showdown. Okay, Bermane Stiverne is the biggest fight of his career, or BJ Flores prior to that, but he hasn't been in many big fights. Opportunity for him to defend his title against Deontay Wilder would be absolutely enormous for Trevor Bryan. Okay, Deontay Wilder is currently on medical suspension, 6-month suspension, so he's not able to come back, for 6 months, and it's looking like possibly around May. Okay, so with that said, Trevor Bryan, he's more than willing to give Deontay Wilder an opportunity. He said that he actually started training. Okay, and now Trevor Bryan started training. He's working out, and this is what Trevor Bryan had to say regarding the opportunity to fight Deontay Wilder. Okay, he says, "I don't like smoke. I'm asthmatic, LOL, but I always down for a fight. So let's go, champ." Okay, this is a response to somebody saying, "Are you willing to take the fight and want to smoke with Deontay Wilder?" And Trevor Bryan said, "Absolutely, he's open to it." Okay, so he says, somebody asked him, "Yo, is it true you might be getting a Wilder in May?" And Trevor Bryan, he responded, keep watching, champ." And he put his hands up, the praying emojis. So he's hoping that he gets the fight in May with Deontay Wilder. I broke the news about that fight coming to fruition. Okay, and so with that said, Trevor Bryan is willing to accept the fight. Okay, Trevor Bryan is open to the possibility. And this would be, again, the biggest fight in Trevor Bryan's career. So Trevor Bryan is definitely, willing to take this opportunity. It's going to be the biggest payday of his career. It's going to be the biggest recognition fight of his career. And it's an opportunity for Trevor Bryan. Just imagine if Trevor Bryan is able to defeat Deontay Wilder, okay? Now, he's going to be a major underdog in that fight. But just imagine if he was somehow able to defeat Deontay Wilder, okay? That does wonders for his career. And Trevor Bryan, again, is already 34 years of age. So he doesn't have many opportunities that he could just sit on the shelf, and he's been inactive. So this is going to be the biggest fight in Trevor Bryan's career, and I'm sure he's more than willing to take the opportunity, to fight Deontay Wilder. Okay. Now, Deontay Wilder, on the other hand, should he beat Trevor Bryan, that makes him the mandatory challenger. Okay. Or he at least gets the opportunity to fight the mandatory challenger. Okay. In the heavyweight division, which is going to be Daniel Dubois. Okay, Daniel Dubois is currently, the number one WBA mandatory challenger. So this means he'll get a big fight against Daniel Dubois. That speaks volumes in itself. Okay, this is a great opportunity for Deontay Wilder. It's a great opportunity for, obviously, we know Alexander Usyk is the official, WBA champion, the super champion, but Trevor Bryan is the regular champion. So Daniel Dubois is at number one. Trevor Bryan is the regular champion. And again, this puts Deontay Wilder in a position to, fight the winner of Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, in their highly anticipated rematch. Okay. So with that said, Deontay Wilder, he has a great strength and condition coach in Joey Scott, who is a strength and conditioning coach for the Olympic team. Okay, so that speaks volumes in itself. That lets you know his resume in itself. Okay, so Canelo Alvarez, who is somebody who is very, very well versed in struggling, okay, with stamina, because in the first half of Canelo Alvarez's career, he was known to struggle with stamina. Okay, he was known to be somebody that faded in the second half of fights, and he would get touched a lot. Okay, so So with that said, he's well versed. He's a champion in the sport of boxing, so he understands, what it is to lack stamina. And Deontay Wilder, for sure, you can tell, definitely from the third, fourth round on, he was definitely fatigued. But like Deontay Wilder, his explanation for that is getting caught in his equilibrium being off and not recovering. And he just, was throwing caution in the wind at that point in time, going with his, basic 1-2, resorting back to what he knows. So Canelo Alvarez is saying once Deontay Wilder works on his stamina, he'll be able to move his head consistently, throughout the fight, and that he can still beat Tyson Fury. So Canelo Alvarez, he believes that Deontay Wilder could for sure beat Tyson Fury, but he got to learn. He has to boost up his stamina and learn to move his head. And he believes he can win. He still, obviously thinks highly of Tyson Fury, but he believes that Deontay Wilder could come back and win. So Deontay Wilder, again, it looks like that fight between him and Trevor Bryan could possibly take place in May. Now, we have to see. Trevor Bryan is with Don King, so nothing's guaranteed when you're dealing with Don King. And obviously, Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, they're going to fight in their highly anticipated rematch in about that April, May, spring area. And Tyson Fury is going to possibly fight Dillian White, who's the WBC mandatory challenger, in March, okay? And then, obviously, Tyson Fury is going to look to fight the winner of Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua for undisputed. And then Deontay Wilder, that gives Deontay Wilder the opportunity to fight Trevor Bryan, beat Trevor Bryan, and then possibly fight Daniel Dubois, beat Daniel Dubois. And then Tyson Fury, I expect Tyson Fury to beat the rest of the landscape, okay? I don't think he's going to continue after that point. He may have to have a 2-fight deal with the winner, Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, but I just can't see Tyson Fury continuing on boxing after that point. 3 fights, 2 fights for Tyson Fury, 3 fights top. And he's probably going to vacate the belt, which will see Deontay Wilder then face whomever for the vacant WBA title. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.